You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Thursday the 15th of May 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm absolutely thrilled with how much I've got done today. So I've done about 5 hours of solid editing, which is pretty good for me for one day, and I'm pleased to say I've managed to get chapters 13, 14, 15 and 16 of the second draft of Empress of the Trees signed off. And I'm thrilled, to be honest, because I wanted to get 9 chapters signed off by the end of Sunday. Well, I've got 5 done today, which basically leaves me 3 days to sign off 4 chapters. And that leaves me by the end of the 18th where I wanted to be by the end of the month. And what that means is I'll be able to exceed my targets, which is just wonderful. My target to finish this draft was originally the end of July. I've kind of got it in my head. I might like to try and do it by the end of June now, but it all depends on work because I've not been working much of this month, whereas I'm working all of next month. Although they have just put out July as unpaid, offering the whole month as unpaid leave. And I have actually managed to, I've applied for it. I don't know if I've got it yet. But I'm already off for 2 weeks in July anyway, so it would only be a further 2 weeks off. So, yeah, that would be quite nice if I get that. But I might be able to start a different I might be able to be doing something else by then. Who knows? But I'm so pleased with how this has gone because there was one chapter, and I think it was chapter 11, or it might have been, it was one of the earlier chapters which really was hard work and did need quite a lot doing to it. And if I'm honest, I thought that would happen with one of these, but it became apparent as I read through them over the last few days that actually there was nothing there that was jumping out at me as difficult. And actually, some of it works rather well. So chapter 16 was the one I was being bashful about yesterday. I was trying to avoid describing that Marianne gives Mackenzie a hand job. I don't know why, because it's, as I said, it's not a seedy moment in the book. It's kind of, it just sort of happens, and neither of them object. But it at the end of chapter 16, Mackenzie has to run away. And I'd already decided that part of the reason for him running away was questioning his sexuality if he's attracted to Marianne, who is non-binary, presents as female, but actually is born male. So he's obviously got in his head, well, that makes me gay and I'm not gay, so that shouldn't have happened. And it just adds to his reasoning for running away. It makes it feel more real. And it makes Marianne slightly more vulnerable as a character, actually, because they're now questioning, shit, if I hadn't done that, maybe he wouldn't have run away. And I had said in my notes that I wanted to seed a bit of a history of depression into Marianne. So this, obviously, they're very anxious about how much their action was a reason for Mackenzie running away. Truth being told, I'm thinking, as knowing the characters very well, I think Mackenzie would have, well, in the version of the story where that didn't happen, he still ran away. So I think it's fair to assume that actually their actions had no direct effect on what Mackenzie chose to do. But he's obviously already got in contact with his brother before that happened to try and arrange to meet up with him in Edinburgh. So, but yeah, it's the moment where Mackenzie runs away. I really enjoyed reading it because it is a big deal. In the grand scheme of the story, you suddenly realise this isn't good. This is going to cause problems. And his reasons are very personal and very... And Marianne's reactions to them are like, oh shit, I hope this has nothing to do with me. I didn't mean to do anything that would offend or upset you. And he absolutely claims, no, it wasn't that. That it's more, yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed writing it when I wrote it. And I do think as I say, the moment is not sexually explicit. It's described, it's probably the most explicit thing I've ever written that I've left in a book, but it's not seedy. It doesn't go into great descriptions. As I said yesterday, I don't name any body parts or anything like that, but I think it's obvious from the way I've described it what's happening and both of their reactions to that moment. And as I say, it so strengthens his reasons for leaving. Not that it didn't feel real before, but it feels even more real now. And I love those characters so much. I'm kind of... It hurts to see them both going through this level of pain. And, oh, if only they knew what was coming next. Never mind. So, yeah, I'm thrilled with what I've achieved today. I'm really pleased. I've enjoyed reading those chapters enormously. And, yeah... So, the writing sessions, I actually meant to record this podcast as part of my live stream, and I just signed off and finished it, and then I realised, I didn't do the podcast as part of the live stream. But that's fine, it's not a big deal. I'm doing it almost immediately afterwards. And the video that I have put up a video of me doing some editing whilst away, but I've got loads of copyright strikes against it. Well, not strikes, but copyright notices. And I've just realised that the reason for that is because I was sitting in a hotel lobby when I was doing some of it, and there's music playing in the background. But there's a really cool feature on YouTube now which enables you to basically remove the copyright infringement without removing the video. So it will just remove the audio of the bits that it needs to. So that's really quite clever. So that's what I'm doing. Unfortunately, because it's quite a long video, it's a 3-hour video, and there's about 7 to remove, and it seems to want to take an hour and a half to remove each one, but that's fine. I should just keep going back to it, and when it does one, I shall then do the next one until they're all done. Anyway, that's me done for today. So by the 18th, which is 3 days away, I have to only get 4 chapters done, and I'm sure I will. I may even get them finished tomorrow, but the reality is it's more likely to be Saturday, which means I can start doing some work on chapter 21 well ahead of schedule, which is literally, the end of 21 is literally the halfway point of the book. So yes, as the Klingons would say, Kapla, which means success in Klingon. I'm such a sad man. Anyway, thank you for listening. I will be back hopefully with as positive an update at some point tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. You have been listening to the Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.